I mean, this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. And I think that, one of the things I do with this video is describe like my unusual situation of having like transitioned and like been dated as a man, dated as a woman, like, tried all kinds of permutations of what gender I am, what gender the people I'm dating are. And I think that like straight men, like, while in general they are like the most privileged kind of sex or sex gender group in society, there are ways in which it does suck, like dating from that perspective. I think that is especially true at this particular moment in history and under the current like technological world that we live in. So Tinder, for example, dating apps, like it's kind of miserable for everyone, but I think for women, the experience is that you just have so many guys coming at you, and they're all so bad and annoying. Because women complain about this constantly, right? Like, but for men, I think the issue is that like because women get a lot of requests, they just sort of like they kind of just check out. So men have to deal with a lot of rejection, or just a lot of just being ignored. And that, I think, is like, I sympathize. I really do. Because I think that takes a psychological toll. Like, it's hard to be rejected. It's hard to feel ignored. It makes you feel worthless. And I think that, there's kind of an issue going on right now with like heterosexuality itself, where there's this kind of traditional script for how men and women act that involves like men being proactive, men being alpha, men initiating things, and women sort of being gatekeepers. Now, we're in the middle of like a transformation in that with like Me Too, for example, that movement, or the broader movement, against like male sexual aggression as a thing that we've now decided is inherently kind of immoral. And so I think there's this, this is something I've detected in my personal life as well, that there's an uncertainty that men have with like, what are they supposed to do now exactly? Because they don't feel comfortable, they don't want to be creepy, right? Or they don't want to be like too assertive or too aggressive, because they know now that that's bad, but they're not sure quite what they're supposed to do. Because I think that, the heterosexual dynamic, as I view it, obviously this is a little, controversial, but I think that, there's something kind of, I don't think most straight women really want to be always the ones taking the initiative themselves either. So there's this kind of like need to find what the new sexual script is. Like how do men know exactly how to be proactive without crossing a line? Like it's kind of tough. And I think men, like good men, feminist men, like there's a tendency that I've noticed to err on the side of caution. But I think it's tough. I think it's especially tough if you're not a very, eye-catching person on this like marketplace of Tinder where pictures are all that matters. And I think that's, that might be amplified in an environment where like, men are sending all the messages, women are just gatekeeping. And for these guys who are sort of, insecure, they're inexperienced, they sort of don't know how to talk to women. They don't know how to approach dating at all. Like, and then they're just sending these inept messages or whatever they're doing, or they're just doing nothing at all and just feeling neglected, alone, isolated, hopeless. Like, I totally see how this can happen. Like, I totally see why this is such a common thing. And I do sympathize. I really, really do. I just, we need to think of a way to deal with this that doesn't involve turning to this like totally poisonous, misogyny.